problem. First of all, can I have your name and a website that you can get located on?
Absolutely. Michael J. Murphy of Why in the World Are They Spraying? And our website for the film to learn more about getting involved with the movement is whyintheworldaretheyspraying.com.
Mahalo. Now I understand that you're over here down Chinatown on Oahu on the 3rd of January. December. Oh, I'm a month ahead. Hello. December. And where are we at, and what do you have premiering here, showing here?
We're premiering the second film that we've done on the chemtrail geoengineering issue, and that's called Why in the World Are They Spraying? And it's a closer look into one of the many agendas associated with these programs, and that's weather control. By putting aerosols into our sky, it enables certain corporations to control the weather. So that's a big part of the objectives of these programs, and it's a very effective way to consolidate an enormous amount of both monetary and political power into the hands of the few. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of every living thing on the planet.
Do you know some of the things that are in those aerosol clouds or sprays?
Absolutely, yeah. There are many different things, but the primary ingredients in geoengineering programs are oxides of metal, aluminum, barium, and strontium. Interestingly enough, we've had tests here from Maui, about 30 tests that revealed the metals, the primary ingredients in geoengineering programs, in very high quantities. And we've also had people now, after the release of our films, tests from around the world. And again, people from around the world are finding this footprint. It's very toxic to both human health and ecology, and we've seen profound changes, not only here in Maui, but all across the world.
Do you know, I understand that they have a plain sight, a place where they have in Arizona, I believe it is, where they keep a lot of the...
Well, a lot of people believe it's Evergreen Air. Evergreen Air used to be Air America, which is the CIA front company. That's one of the things that we're going to move forward and doing. We're going to investigate who specifically is doing this. So there's a lot of speculation, but you
got to know that it's got to be done with the military itself, because they ain't going to allow nobody in the skies.
Sure, yeah. We believe it's military involvement, but again, we're going to connect these dots. We're going to look specifically at who's doing it and provide that information in a very, very effective way. And again, we're not going to speculate. We're going to get into proof.
Do you know what these metals have on the effect of the body? I know I have some kind of information. Could you help to enlighten some of the people that are watching?
Yeah, aluminum being the primary ingredient, we're again finding in rain tests around the world, and blood tests from people who have been testing their blood have been finding very high quantities. Aluminum is very toxic. Aluminum creates many neurological disorders, which we've seen a great increase in aluminum-related illnesses, one of which many people are familiar with is Alzheimer's. We've had over 260% increase in Riverside County of Alzheimer's alone. We continue to see these increases all around the world where these programs have been deployed. Barium, which is being found in very high quantities as well, has many different abilities in terms of what it can do in our atmosphere, has been showing up in blood tests as well. Barium lowers our immune system, and it also raises our blood pressure. So I've spoken to a number of emergency room physicians who've been aware of this. By depleting our immune system, it will lead to a number of other illnesses, but they're also seeing an increase on heavy spray days of heart attacks and strokes due to the fact that it raises our blood.
Also, a lot of people who have asthma or some kind of breathing disorders too are highly affected during these heavy spraying days, correct?
Right. Respiratory mortality went from number 8 down to number 3 in just a 6-year period. So we're seeing all kinds of illnesses. And again, these are very toxic. Strontium is actually a carcinogen. So we're breathing this in every breath that we take, because gravity takes effect. It gets into the air that we breathe. So yeah, we've seen profound changes in these health issues.
And this is not just happening here in Hawaii, but I believe this is a global issue that's been happening all over the world, especially like in U.S. Controlled nations, NATO.
It's happening in all NATO countries, but not limited. We're literally seeing these around the world. There are only a couple countries that have not reported it, and that may have changed. Again, geoengineers, going back to their models, they want to put this aerosol, this toxic aerosol, around every part of the planet, and they state these programs are to mitigate global warming. By putting aluminum, it reflects sun. What we found contradicts that. We found
Disneyland spin.
Yeah, right. NASA studies, other university studies that indicate putting aerosols into our sky will regionally reduce the temperature, but at night those aerosols act as a blanket. They trap heat. We've seen a great increase in nighttime highs. So according to what we have looked at in the studies, we believe it has to do right now with the methane release and the ice melting in the polar regions. So it's a big concern of ours that they have actually triggered this problem that they claim that they're trying to protect. But again, it comes down to corporatization of every natural system. And when you corporatize these things, you can literally, through weather control every political system and every food supply. And that's, again, a very effective way to consolidate power.
Does Monsanto have a big hand in this?
Monsanto benefits from it. There's no question in that. What we're finding, we interviewed a couple of farmers here in Hawaii on Maui, and it's across the board. Farmers are seeing a reduction in their crops due to this issue called abiotic stress. What is abiotic stress? It's everything that the chemtrail geoengineering programs create. It's drought conditions. It's too much moisture because we'll get droughts in certain areas, flooding in others. It's heavy metal contamination. Our soils are being contaminated, and it's also fungal overgrowth. And due to the fact that these programs block our sun, we now have an overgrowth of fungus. Monsanto has a genetically modified seed that addresses abiotic stress. And it's the seed's available in everything from outpost to zucchini. So getting back to the farmers that we interviewed, they've seen between a 60 and 70% decline in their ability to get natural organic yields. And the concern is that if this continues, if we allow this to happen, we will lose our ability to grow natural organic foods and be dependent on the Monsanto and other genetically modified seed companies' food supply. So it's a very important issue, not only because of the health implications, but the ecosystem, which are collapsing now around the world.
Do you understand Monsanto's footprint in Hawaii?
I'm very aware of Monsanto's footprint in Hawaii and the market share that they have, yes.
We're the #1 seed exporter for Monsanto around the world.
Unfortunately, that rings true to me. And you know, I'm aware of the health concerns and also the ecological concerns of genetically modified seeds. And in why in the world are they spraying? We made that link, how Monsanto benefits. The next film, which should be done within a year and a half, is going to be who in the world is spraying. That will be our third film, where we're going to dig in, we're going to see if there's any funding and direct relations. But an important relation to genetically modified seeds, Bill Gates is on the public record.
He's got the seed bank.
Well, he does have the seed bank.
And he gave how much? Millions of dollars in share to Monsanto.
And he's also funding geoengineering. So by funding geoengineering, he's destroying crops and our ability to grow natural organic foods. But he benefits also on the back end with the market share that Monsanto gains from that destruction. And we could go on all night and all night about the connections involved with this, but they definitely benefit, there's no question.
So would you consider that by us breathing this air, we're actually being geoengineered ourselves because of all these heavy metals and chemicals that are going in there?
Yeah, it's definitely compromising our health, and I believe that there's a component to that, to us changing, and it is, you know, it is changing. It's changing our immune system, it's changing many things, and perhaps we'll be able to look into that a little more closely, because I think the story goes a lot deeper. I think there's a lot more to look at.
Okay, again, your name?
Name is Michael J. Murphy. I'm the producer and director of 2 groundbreaking films, What in the World Are They Spraying? And our latest, which has won several awards, Why in the World Are They Spraying? You can find more information and see the movie trailer at whyintheworldaretheyspraying.com.
Mahalo, mahalo. I appreciate you taking your time and getting out the truth, because it needs to be known. People need to wake up and look up.
We need to wake up and look up, and I want to thank everybody here in Hawaii, not only for what you have done to address this, but getting active by learning about it and spreading this message to people. So my message to you again is mahalo and keep looking up.
Cool.